what we actually found out is that it is not who the Twitter handle is that was today's problem. It was that a lawyer to the federal government said in court that he was not briefed by the president to represent him. That's the end of the case. Because what these laws are clear about, this is my fourth cybercrime charge. The first one was by Buhari in 2019. And one element of that law, even as it was amended, is that the person who claimed that you are harassing him or bullying him must have complained. So a third party, in fact, how we defeated Buhari in 2019 was that we were able to prove that Buhari doesn't use the internet and that Malami doesn't know anything about the internet. In fact, it was at the time that Buhari was complaining about air infection that he said I was bullying him. How can somebody who cannot hear, read, or write? When we told their team that we would need Buhari in court in his personal capacity, because that's what the law says, they withdrew the cybercrime charge. So we got a very big one today, and that is why their lawyers are probably not going to pass through this place before the media. They admitted in open court that there was no briefing from the president about this case. So the judge, in his very, very interesting wisdom, kept asking them, who then initiated the case? Because they didn't want to announce the name of their witness. They only have one witness, unknown. And we said, look, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm going to allow lawyers to do their job, but I've been frequenting courts a lot. And one thing I know about the Evidence Act is that if somebody is going to give evidence in a criminal trial, the defendant has a right to, in advance, have a copy of his own claims. And then he can adequately prepare for the trial. In this case, they didn't know who. They just said, we have a witness in court. And the judge laughably said, even if it's an evil spirit, we must know what is coming to say in court. That was how that adjournment was secured. Apart from other things, but this is an active case, a very active and radioactive case. But the interesting part is that, as one of our lawyers said on TV one time, the president has not complained that he's not a criminal. He didn't complain to anybody. It is busybodies at the DSS who have nothing to do at the time that the country is in need of their intelligence expertise, so-called, that they went around trying to please the president. Maybe they have some money left out there for lawyers, and they just want to find some people to give briefs to, And the last thing I will say is that we have been through this nonsense before. Malami was the architect of this kind of foolish lawsuit. Look at where he is today. In fact, when we leave this place today, we want to go and help to bail Malami out of the... Oh, wow. Yes, at Kuje prison. We are planning to go there because he's entitled to not only the bail has been granted, but the freedom that the bail had, Hopefully, we will still be able to find him there at Kuje prison, where he's been hiding. But we are not mocking him because we don't play with fundamental human rights. But it's important for Nigerians to know that if people have work to do at a time like this, they would never have brought this lawsuit to court. And that's why you are not likely to be finding their lawyers addressing the media. They might, after they have heard us, because they are hanging out there waiting, maybe they'll pick up on some of our statements and use it to address why they are here. But at any rate, I'm available anytime they want me, even though I know this is frivolous, it's a waste of my time, energy. For the last 1 year, these wicked people seized my passport. I have not been able to travel out of the country, Nigeria. But as always stated, we are 200 million people here. I am not more important than the 199-point-something million people who are also trapped here. We must do everything to get ourselves the liberty that we deserve and a country that governs with common sense at least. Thank you very much.
Revolution now. Revolution now.
Can you just step on?
Well, as expected, the prosecutors were not ready. We know they will not be ready.
Bring your mic down a little.
This is the first time in a long time that we will see that the government will file a case in court and they would not list any witness that they intend to prove their case before the court. No single witness was listed in the proof of evidence in court today. They also did not inform us ahead or serve us in line with the principle of front-loading the allegations of their witnesses against us in court today. It was on that basis that we objected to the arraignment today, having failed to comply with the requisite constitutional and statutory mandates. Section 36 of Section 6B mandates them to avail us every facility and time required to prepare for our defense. But this is not the first time that the government will come to court and file a frivolous charge of this nature. Buhari filed a similar case in 2019, and after years of rigors and time wasting, we defeated Buhari. Malami, the former AGF, also filed a similar case, and the court dismissed the case and granted us damages. The current IGP, Egbetokun, has also told the same path on several times, and on each occasion they have failed. This also represents the failing of a nation that is beclouded by the shackles of terrorism, a nation that is grappling with the issue of insecurity, is only fixated on clamping down on citizens who simply exercised their fundamental human rights to criticize and ask basic fundamental questions. The right to criticize the government we have maintained is a fundamental right. Ditto, the man who has even been alleged to have been defamed has never complained about the defamatory statement that was attributed to our clients. He has never come forth or complained to anybody that the allegations against him are untrue. He has also not made a formal complaint to any security agency in this country. We are therefore appealed that the DSS has left its primary responsibility of gathering intelligence for the state into dabbling in private affairs and into asking questions about who is being defamed or being called a criminal or not. One of the persons that have been the greatest critic of the president in this country today, and that has repeatedly called the president a criminal, has just been rewarded with an appointment as an ambassador. Why are you now clamping down? If the president finds such a person worthy of compensation by being given an ambassadorial appointment, on what basis is the Busybody DSS that ought to be in the forest and the bush gathering intelligence for the military charging us to court today? It shows the failing of a nation, and we insist that this government must retrace their steps. Government must not trivialize governance. Government must focus on their primary responsibility, which is protecting the lives of the citizenry. On this head, they have failed, and they must, as a matter of urgency, stop expending taxpayers' money to pursue frivolous cases against innocent Nigerians who simply ask questions that the government should be accountable. They should pursue the terrorists and ensure that these persons are arrested and prosecuted, not a patriot like Sowore. We thank you.